Hello students. In the previous class, we completed the part 1 of the play Beyond the Land of Hatamala, written by Badal Sarkar. I call it the part 1 because since the beginning of the play and then successfully landing on a new wonderful land, and then there is a change in the entire development of the play. That's why I call it part 1. Actually, the playwright did not make any division of the play, neither into the scenes and not at all even into the acts. But depending on the development of the play, I am trying to segregate it into different parts. So till now we have seen what actually happens over there in the play. Kena and Becha, that is Kenaram and Becharam, both of them ran away from the Zamindar's house after their unsuccessful attempt of robbery. 4 villagers were following them, but anyhow, these 2 thieves could escape from them. Then they could hide themselves in a cowshed, but unfortunately, the cows started making noise, and eventually the owner realized something went wrong. And finally, these 2 have to run away from the cowshed also. And then they jumped into the water of the river, swam for a long period of time, and finally landed on a wonderful land, which is totally unknown to these 2, that is Kenaram and Becharam. So let us see now what is going to happen in the subsequent part of this particular play, Beyond the Land of Hatamala. Now both are thinking that they are really blessed by God Almighty, because even passing through the turbulent current of the water of the river, they are still alive. It seems to be a filmy event, but that is a fact. Now these 2 are just inquiring each other about their very difficult experience, but now they realize that the bad phase of life is over and they are successfully landed on a new land that they never saw. Actually, Kenaram started counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he continued for long. Becharam did not understand why this sort of behavior is there from Kenaram, and ultimately he asks him the reason. Kenaram gives an interesting reason for it. Standing facing to Becharam, and Kena says, my guru used to tell, when you feel like murdering someone, count slowly from 1 to 100. It indicates that Kenaram was really very much getting angry with Becharam and the kind of silly jokes and questions that Becharam was consistently asking. Now Becharam realized that his friend, his Dada, is getting angry with him, and that's why he says, oh, you are angry, are you? Again, Kenaram continues to count the numbers, but this time little faster. Becharam is again trying to peep into the matter, but suddenly looking into the distance, Dada, look. Kenaram just inquires, what? Where do you want to be? To see exactly, and what? Then Becharam tells him, see that far distance, there is some smoke. Smoke? Oh yeah. Look at the horizon. When you find some smoke, it means there is a chimney, or perhaps there is a rice mill, or else there is a railway station, so on and so on. It means there is a possibility of people. There is a kind of, interaction between the two. Then Kena says, of course, a railway station at least, good. Now we'll go to the town, these city slickers. There is no profit in these blasted villages. Let us try our luck somewhere else. Again, they continue to talk for some time. And then Becharam is again making some silly inquiries. Dada, see, this isn't farmland. I think it isn't a jungle also. It's like a huge garden. Dada, have you noticed it? Because since we are here, I'm trying to peep here and there. I'm trying to see the scenario here and there. I don't think like it is neither a jungle, it is nor any, specific land that of a, part of the village or a town, but it seems to be a nicely maintained, lovely, huge garden. What do you say? Now Kena also makes the observation. Of course, these are the two, those who are landed on this surface for the first time. Becharam continues to look at various parts of this region, and there is a tree that he claims that he never saw it in his life. So Becharam says, I don't think these are our parts. Dada, I can't recognize the thing. See that. See this tree. I have never seen this tree in my life. Now, Kena interferes and tells Becharam, oh, that is what you are talking about. It is what Chamkali tree. What is it? You don't know the name? I have seen this tree for 100 times. Leave it. There is nothing new here. Come on, follow me. Then, Kenaram and Becharam, both of them continue to walk for some time. They are moving towards the smoke with an expectation that they will find a group of people there so that they will be among the people, they will have some exposure to the people. So now they are moving forward and forward, and then one of them feels thirsty. That is Becharam, more particularly. My legs don't seem to move now. I'm awfully thirsty. See, the reply given by Kenaram is very interesting. Kenaram tells Becharam, hey, you Becha, you drank gallons of water of the river and still you feel thirsty. But anyhow, both have a very good understanding and they do consider each other. So what happens then? 4 people come out of a group of trees, and that is also noticed by Becharam first. Then Becharam tells Dada, someone is coming. Then Kena says, okay, let us wait for some time. Anyway, no one knows us here, whether we are the robbers or burglars or thieves, whatever. So he listens. And then, brother, can we get a drink of water anywhere? This is the inquiry made by Kena to the 4 people, the 4 members of that particular community. And then there was a response by the 4 people over there. One of them says, in fact, you don't get the tap water in this town or nearby. Actually, we are facing some problem with water also. But if you go ahead a bit, there is a green coconut, and you will get abundant quantity of green coconuts there. Go over there and pacify your thirst. Becharam inquires, green coconuts? The 4 members, yes, very sweet too, go ahead. Then the 4 members of that community, they left. And now you see, Kena and Becha, both are moving forward and forward. Now, they are just near to the coconut, wherever the coconuts are made available. I don't call it shop because you will come to know about this reason later. Why I can't call this one as a shop. That I will not explain now. The chorus, as I said, the 4 members, I would say, the chorus imitates musical instruments to indicate a change of scene, and 5 sits under the tree, dressed as an old woman, having some green coconuts right in front of her. According to her, and according to them, I would say, all these green coconuts are very sweet. Water is also very sweet. Then the Kena asked this question, how much? Becha, Dada, how can you, Kena, shut up. How much a green coconut? Old mother, there is a lady, older lady, who is serving and who is having that collection of coconuts, and these are made available for everybody there. Becharam and Kenaram wanted to find out what is the selling price of the coconut. But the lady did not reply anything because she did not understand anything. Five are there, as I said, these members of the community, laughing. What do you mean? How much? As much as you can drink. Okay. So here, you did not ask anything, how much, what is the cost, what is the price and all. Whatever capacity of drinking you have, you continue to drink. No problem at all. Becha, wait. What are you doing? The lady was preparing coconuts for these two. She served one to Becha, another to Kena. And of course, they wanted to drink it, no doubt about it, but still they are worried about the price. Both of them drink the coconut, very delicious and sweet as well. And then Kena seriously asking the old mother, how much was it? How much was what? None of them understood what exactly this Kena is asking. Finally, see, the Kena says, I don't want to make any bargain. Whatever price is there, we will pay off, no problem. And then Kena tells Becharam, get my wallet, please. What wallet? Oh yeah, last night I gave it to you. You know, that was kept on the shelf. And I asked you to keep it carefully. Of course, we need money. Then Becharam said, I forgot it on the same. I forgot at home. I don't carry the wallet with me. I'm sorry. How can you do so? You forgot the wallet at home? Oh no, what to do now? Old mother, we are extremely sorry that we don't have anything to pay you now. But anyway, you know, tomorrow we are coming back on the same route and we will pay you the bills. In fact, none of them, neither the lady nor the other people of the community, understood about cash, currency and all that. And they did not know what to bargain and how to bargain as well. So finally, these two say, okay, we will pay you cash. Then the five started asking, what cash? What do you mean by that? Then Becharam and Kenaram realized that all these people are the idiots and we can easily fool them and we can go off without paying anything. And they did the same. And finally, they moved away from the place by promising the old lady that anyway they are coming back tomorrow on the same route and they will pay the bills and the cash. But actually the lady also did not understand, or what do you mean by cash and all that. So finally there was a music again. A town is made, horses, a garden, houses, fountains, gates, and now Becharam and Kenaram enter the town. This is really a wonderful experience for these two thieves, those who lived their life only either, robbing the people in different villages and towns and maintaining their own life. Now both of them entered to a new wonderful land, highly decorated, extraordinarily beautiful, so many new flowers, trees that they have never seen in their life, nicely maintained houses, a number of fountains here and there, nicely constructed gates. Everything was splendid, no doubt about it. The moment both of them enter to the town, Becha says, Dada, are we here in Calcutta? Now we call it Kolkata, but in the book it is mentioned as Calcutta. Dada, are we here in Kolkata? Hey, who told you so? Nonsense. Don't say anything like that. We are not in Kolkata at all. Kolkata is far away from this place, far from our village, Hatua. See, what is the name of their village? Hatua, Hatua. So if at all you want to go to Kolkata, first of all, you need to go to subdivisional headquarters. Then you will have district headquarters. Then you will find Kolkata. Kolkata is a faraway place from our village. And mind it well, Kolkata is not meant for pretty thieves like us. Unless you are a murderer or a high-class fraud, or you are a man of, very high-profile robbery, con man, you can't get a space in Kolkata jail. So you need to be something extraordinary first. Then Becha realized, oh, Kolkata is so big, but Dada, this is also a big town. Kena says, see, Kolkata, that is what I want to say, Kolkata is a much bigger city. Don't compare this town with Kolkata. Besides, there are tram cars in Kolkata. Have you seen any tram cars here? See, Kolkata is provided with a better transportation facility for the citizens of the city. Do you see any tram cars here? Kolkata has trams. And that's why that is a big city and much bigger than this town. Tram cars are just like railway trains. But there is no smoke, there is no coal. They run through right in the middle of the street. That is really fantastic, Then Becharam asked him, Dada, have you seen tram cars? Kena says, no, my dear. When did I go to Kolkata? My uncle's guru saw them. And whatever my uncle's guru narrated or explained to my uncle told me all about, and that is how I came to know about Kolkata. So, Becha continued to ask multiple number of questions. Kena is getting annoyed with him. Again, Becha says, is it like that? Then I think this is Kolkata. Kena gets annoyed. If this is Kolkata, then where are the policemen? Don't you know there is a cop at each and every street crossing in Kolkata? So Kena is giving another explanation. See, if you want to claim that this town is Kolkata, have you seen any policeman now? Since we are, walking through this town, number of streets we have seen, have you seen any policeman in the square? If you go to Kolkata, you find policemen at every street crossing. And since there is no policeman here, it means this is not Kolkata at all. So don't ask any silly question further. Keep quiet. Then Becha, yeah, that's true, Dada. Whatever you say is right. This is not Kolkata. There is no policeman. And it is not a large town or city like Kolkata. Kena and Becha, both of them continue to talk like this. Kena is a short-tempered person, sometimes gets angry with Becha. And then what happens? 3 and 4 of some people are walking along, right? Then Kena used to ask one of them, hey brother, Can you tell me where the police station is? Actually, the people of that community, none of them, 3-2 people are there. Sorry, 3-4 people are there. None of them understood what the police station means. Police station? What do you mean by police station? They inquire each other whether anybody knows about police station. No, we don't know. There is nothing, no place like police station here. Oh, I see. Then Kena asked, okay, can you tell me, is there any jail where you put the people in prison? Then they don't understand that also. The people of that community felt that they must be asking about luncheon. Okay, because Kena, while asking about the prison and jail, he also pronounced a word whether they know like a dungeon. So that dungeon is converted into luncheon by the community people. And they said, okay, you want to eat something, right? Then you do one thing, you go straight, just take left from here and you will find an eatery and it will provide you a delicious food. Go over there. Then Kena says, oh my God, we have come to a country of idiots. Why are you stopping? Let us move. Then Becha in between says, Dada, I feel awfully faint and hungry also. As the people of this community or the town already pointed us a direction that there is an eatery, I think we should go, Dada. I feel very hungry and I want to eat something. Then Kena says, where is the wallet? Where is the money? Becha, money? Why do you need money, Dada? As we, had a couple of coconut, did we pay anything? Kena also says, yeah, we did not pay anything there. Let us try the same. And then both of them are moving towards the direction where that eatery is available. They go towards it. Music, a kind of restaurant music. Some people are eating, 4 and 5 are serving. One is supervising. Kena and Becha arrive to the restaurant. Then Becha says, Dada, I could really smell something extraordinary, This is the smell of a rice. Kena says, Basmati? Becha, how do you know? Have you ever eaten Basmati? Now they are talking about the Basmati rice and the flavor of the Basmati rice. And he inquires whether Kena has ever tasted and had the Basmati rice. But as you know, these two are the thieves. Anyhow, they are, intruding into the houses of the people, robbing them, looting them, and anyhow, they are managing their life and maintaining their livelihood. So it is not sure like whether they had Basmati ever or not. But here, Becha says, there are, I feel very hungry and I can't control myself. Now let us have a place here and I want to eat something. As soon as they are sitting over there, immediately 2 to 3 people, those who are serving in the restaurant, they approach and they provided them the food. And like a glutton, Becha started eating, And of course, Kena also did the same thing. Both of them had the food. Almost they had a full meal there. They feel very satisfied after having that tasty food. And after the food, they were about to move. But the proprietor or whosoever is the administrator of the restaurant, he pointed out them towards the dessert. Dessert is also available here. You can have yogurt, you can have sweets, you can have any delicacies which are being offered, and please have with all possible comfort and enjoy yourself. Actually, these two were worried that we did not have any penny in our pocket and already we had coconut there with the lady and we did not pay anything. Now we have full meals here and we have no money at all because both of them are completely out of money. So, but anyhow, they tested it and they had it with great relish. And finally, they were about to move. And of course, as you know, so they want to bluff here also. And they tells the proprietor that, okay, we will come every day here. We find the food really good. When the, proprietor asks them, how was the food? Then Kena says, not bad. Instead of saying it's good or tasty or delicious, he says it's not bad. That way he answers, but promises him that even he and they will come together every day over here. But if at all you want to come in the evening, the man says you need to come before 10 o'clock. After 10, we don't serve food here. If you want to have, there is one more restaurant in the center and that provides you food throughout 24 hours a day or throughout night as well. So you can go there and have it. If you want to come to this place, it is available only up to 10 o'clock. And finally, both of them have this great taste of the restaurant and both of them are trying to appreciate the man over there by calling him a high-class businessman, and they are also calling him as the owner of the restaurant, but that man does not know what is owner and all, but he tells his name. The name of the person or that particular restaurant proprietor is Konar, Shashadhar Konar. That is the name of the person. And these two are trying to pronounce the word, but finally Kena says, Konarda, we like the food of your restaurant and your hotel is quite good and we will keep coming every day here, right? So that way, both of them promise and move away from the place again without paying anything. And they felt that this town is the town of idiots. Nobody is asking for money. Everybody can be cheated and be fooled easily. But finally, this man, that is Konar Da, Shashadhar Konar, asks them their names. And he tells them that I will enroll your name there in the ledger of the restaurant. And then these two introduce themselves as Becharam and Kenaram. So their names are, written down over there in the village. And as they promised, okay, you can come to our restaurant in the evening also, but please come between 8 and 10 because at 10 o'clock we are closed and we will not be able to serve you any food. So finally, both of them leave the place. And here, I would like to put a pause, right? So I'll just put a pause here. In the next class, I'll let you know about the further developments in this particular plot of the play beyond the land of Hatamala.